Now to Black-owned businesses as we mark National Black Business Month across the country. Businesses headed by Black entrepreneurs were hit particularly hard almost instantly when the pandemic took hold 2.5 years ago. More than 40% were either forced to shut down or struggled to stay afloat. And this inspired many Black executives to take action, and that still has momentum today. So joining me now is Latoya Williams Belfort, Executive Director of the nonprofit 15% Pledge. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Hi, Amy. So glad to be here.
So this is pretty cool. The name and the concept of your organization actually started from an Instagram post?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So our founder, Aurora James, a fashion designer and social entrepreneur, took action in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic and the racial uprising and many companies declaring their support to the Black community. She wanted a tangible application to ensure that that moment and continuing really was the change that we wanted to see. So she took to Instagram and she challenged retailers and corporations to dedicate 15% of their annual spend to Black entrepreneurs.
That's amazing. And historically speaking, Black businesses have faced an uphill battle to survive. The pandemic obviously made things significantly worse. We actually have some statistics. Only 1% of Black business owners receive a bank loan in their first year. That is staggering. Only 4% of Black businesses last longer than 3.5 years, compared to around 55.6% of all other businesses. Those are not just small numbers, those are huge. How do you close gaps like those?
Right, it's a really big systemic issue. And I think at the Pledge, the way we think about it is really big systemic issues need really innovative applications and ways of working. And what we do is we have 29 corporations that have signed the Pledge, retailers, and they take multi-year contracts to diversify their supply chains. And then on the other side of our work, we have a community of over 2,000 of the most innovative, fast-growing, emerging, and some very developed Black businesses, and we make matches. And at the core of our work, we know that because of systemic racism, and we know because of, historical inequity, that Black businesses need additional support. So we work with the retailers to really understand the journey of the Black business owner.
And you have an impressive list of companies who have joined in these efforts, including 2 major fashion magazines. Tell us who all is involved and who you'd like to see get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So 29 companies, and we have, Bloomingdale's, Ulta Beauty, Sephora, Nordstrom's taking a 10-year contract to do this work with us. And then we do have some non-traditional partners that are not in the retail space. And that really is about representation, marketing. Again, it's a whole collaboration in thinking about closing the racial wealth gap, understanding, what's going on in the Black community and how we need to be collaborative in this effort to really see change. And who we'd like to take the Pledge are some of the really big players in this space. So we're thinking about the Walmarts and the Targets. And really, because when you look at what they bring in annually, and you think about our 15% application, as we work to close the racial wealth gap, we need their partnership and support. And they've launched some initiatives to show their support of the Black community, and they understand that speaking to all consumers in a diverse and inclusive way is important. So we're hoping that, in the weeks, months to come, they'll take the Pledge and we can do some really good work together.
And then how would some of these smaller Black-owned businesses be the recipients of this? How do they get involved? How do they know how to be a part of this incredible mission?
So businesses go to our website and they sign up for our business equity community, which is that group of over 2,000 businesses that we cultivate and develop. So they sign up and we go through a vetting process just to understand where they are, what they need, what their journey has been. And then we make matches. So with our 29 retail partners, we understand their business because really, although we are an economic justice organization, this is a business proposition, right? The more diverse you can be, the more inclusive you can be, you're gonna drive your bottom line, right? And on the other side, we wanna ensure that Black entrepreneurs have access to building generational wealth. So once we understand what the Black business is, once we work with the retailer to understand their bigger business strategy and how they're thinking about diversifying their assortment, we make matches, kind of like speed dating.
I love that. And how can consumers in general find ways to support Black businesses, and why should they?
So this is really, really important and a wonderful question. We always say, when you have a really big systemic issue, the average person, average community member feels like there's no way to get involved, right? But our economic power as individuals is so great. So at the Pledge, we have a consumer pledge. You can go to our website, you can take the consumer pledge, and what that means is intentionality, research, and being dedicated to using your economic power to support companies that are living their values. In the information age, you can do your research and really make sure that what companies say say they're doing, they're actually doing. And then you can really understand that buying black and supporting the Buy Black movement is so much more than a social media hashtag.
We just appreciate your passion and your purpose. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Latoya Williams Belfort, thank you for coming into the studio, Executive Director of the 15% Pledge.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.